In the Marvel Cinematic Universe, there's so many powerful weapons. There's a hammer that can make thunder, armor that can turn you into a war machine, even a glove that can wipe out half of the universe. In this video, we'll look at the top 10 most powerful weapons in the MCU. So without further ado, let's start with number 10. Steve Rogers' shield made of Vibranium. It's stronger than steel and a third of the weight, and it's completely vibration absorbent. Vibranium is the rarest metal on Earth, but the power of this shield is not its material. It's who is using it and how he's using it. Steve Rogers used it as everything, as a cold weapon, as a reflector, as a shield, obviously even as a door stopper, and if you throw it fast enough, like Scarlet Witch, it can cut people in half. Yaka Arrow is a whistle-controlled arrow made from Yaka. It's the sound centered in metal, and that makes the Yaka Arrow controllable by Yondu Udonta's whistle. He can pierce anything or anyone he wants with this arrow. Yondu once used it to kill roughly 50 Sakaran soldiers and his former Ravager friends. But the downside of this weapon is that you have to be a Centurion to control it, or you may end up like this guy. The bangle of Ms. Marvel was actually used by his grandmother Aisha at first, and now in the Ms. Marvel series, we saw Kamala Khan using this weapon. They used this bangle to extract energy from the Noor dimension. In other words, they can create solid shapes by thinking, so the only limit is the user's imagination. But as I understand from the series, you have to own some kind of mutant gene to use this gadget. This sword was Thanos' only weapon in the Endgame's final battle. Well, if we don't count his army as a weapon. With the double-edged sword, Thanos won against almost all the Avengers he faced during the battle. Even he broke Captain America's shield into pieces with this. This is a set of 10 mysterious rings of unknown ancient origin that provide the user insanely powerful mystical powers. Shang-Chi's father found and used it in the Middle Ages. With these powers, he became the ruler of this time. The owner of 10 rings can telepathically control them to increase his strength, create platforms to move through the air, or just throw them as giant bullets. Plus, their magic can technically make the owner immortal. With Shang-Chi's cool kung fu skills, these rings become even more handy in battle. The first version of Iron Man's suit were already very capable as a weapon to use in the military, but Tony Stark didn't stop there and made his suit better and better in each movie. It can absorb Thor's lightning blast and use it as his own energy. At the end of Endgame, he was using nanotech and was able to create any kind of weapon with this technology. With this suit, Tony Stark poured a drop of blood from Thanos in Infinity War. Mjolnir was created by dwarves for the Asgardian royal family. The first owner of this hammer was Odin. Then we saw in Ragnarok, Hela used it in fights, but the main owner is Thor Odinson. In Thor Ragnarok, Hela destroyed Mjolnir. However, in Thor Love and Thunder, we saw Jane Foster united again and use it as Mighty Thor. Mjolnir was forged in the heart of a dying star. That makes it extremely durable and heavy. With the enchantments of Odin, it becomes a weapon that can create lightning and gives its owner the power of Thor. Thor could fly with it when he spins it really fast, and it can even change your clothes if you want. This form of Necrosword was a powerful weapon used by the Dark Shadow Lord, and in Thor Love and Thunder, Gore the God Butcher wielded it. Necrosword gives the owner the power of teleportation and allows him to bring shadow monsters to serve as soldiers. And as you can understand by the name, Gore used it to murder thousands of gods until Mighty Thor smashed it into pieces with Mjolnir. Stormbreaker was made for the king of Asgard. Thor forged it to defeat Thanos in Infinity War. Just like Mjolnir, it can manipulate lighting. But unlike Mjolnir, it can open Bifrost by itself, which means the owner can travel to wherever he wants in the entire universe. Plus, it looks like flying with this thing is easier than flying with Mjolnir. Of course, this must be in the first place. The Infinity Gauntlet is a globe that was made by dwarves to channel the power of all 6 Infinity Stones. Basically, it means whatever the owner of it thinks of, he can make it happen with just snapping his fingers. Of course, the power of these weapons can change drastically based on who is using them. Mjolnir is just a heavy hammer for those who can lift it, or Infinity Gauntlet is just a suicide tool for those who cannot resist its power. But I try my best to put each weapon in a proper order. What do you think? Do you agree with this list? If not, write yours in the comments. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one!